welcome Dumpster Goblins. Welcome back.
Welcome, you dirty, dirty boys and girls.
Yeah, well, nice small talk, Trey. I'd like to ask how you're doing, but let's bitch about the Full Metal Alchemist movie already.
Oh my god, can
Yes.
we? Can we please? No, forget the
Yeah,
intros.
no.
There's no intro this week. We're going straight
Yeah.
into it. That movie fucking
Oh my
sucked.
god, I was so mad. We watched it a couple of days ago with our friend Austin. Garrett popped in towards the end. Chris refused to watch it, and I don't blame him.
Because he's a smart
Yeah.
man. He's a smart man with good prospects ahead of him.
Oh my fucking lord. So, maybe some background for people who don't understand. Full Metal Alchemist is probably one of my top 3 series of all time. I think you're in the similar boat.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I mean, you have it literally on your body.
Which is a thing that I can bring up. That's something that made me very upset at the movie.
Oh yeah, how they somehow messed that up.
They messed up the
somehow.
Ouroboros tattoo. I'm so mad.
How do you even do that?
Yeah, like it didn't have teeth and it looked like doofy. And I mean, it's like they literally...
Yeah, it had like a little tentacle thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like it's not like the triangle thing that it doesn't act.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a clear hexagram over a black hexagram. Black triangle over a white triangle, so it's like a hexagram, which made everybody think I was Jewish when I first saw it, but my tattoo, not the show. But the movie, let's talk about this. So I mean the movie is on Netflix for those who don't know. It's not a Netflix original. I think some random Japanese studio made it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but no, so Netflix is streaming the movie right now. You can watch it. I wouldn't. There are just so many things wrong with that.
It's not even good bad.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. There's like a couple scenes, mostly with gluttony. Any scene with gluttony was a gem, and it's beautiful. But everything else is like the worst.
They just ruined gluttony so hard, too. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but man, they screwed the pooch so bad. Because, I mean, like, we both like bad movies. I got genuine enjoyment out of watching the Death Note movie.
Yeah, that movie was actually really fun. It was a terrible, awful movie, but man, I laughed so hard at so many parts in that movie.
Yeah, no, I thought it was hilarious, and that's kind of why that was what I was expecting from Full Metal Alchemist, but it was just so bad. I guess we can start at the beginning. I guess one of the biggest things is everything is so rushed in it, because they cram, like, what?
These are like 5 or 6 arcs that just cram into this 2-hour movie. Oh, it's 2 hours and like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a long movie too, and boy does it feel like it.
Yeah, like it drags so hard.
Yeah, but no, so let's... I don't know, how do we want to dissect this to let everybody know? If there's people who are listening that haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist yet and don't know what we're talking about, watch Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, watch them both. I'd suggest watching the original first, personally. Like, if you're gonna go for like the original, like before they remade it and made Brotherhood, like I think that's probably the best bet. Because I think me personally, I think Brotherhood's better.
Yeah,
and I think you'll get more out of the original if you watch it first.
Yeah, I mean, I have respect for both series still. I think I grew up with the original a little too much. Like, I didn't watch Brotherhood until maybe like 3 years ago. So, I mean, by the time I'd already gotten my tattoo, I was in love with the original series that much, and then Brotherhood was kind of just icing on a cake.
Yeah. I'm sort of the opposite, since I read the manga, like, years ago. Like, I read it until it was finished, and then I watched Brotherhood when that came out, and then I watched the original because I was just curious as to, like, what... Because I kind of missed that whole boat when that first started happening.
Yeah, but... Basically, like, we're trying to hammer in, this is an iconic series, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, it's top 5. My top 5 all-time favorite series. It's probably...
Yeah, not even anime.
At least when I'm talking to Brotherhood, like, it's got a really good story.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of political intrigue, just really fun messages, like, really thought-provoking, like, man versus God versus science.
Yeah, no, it's also good.
Like, it's very, very well-paced, like, it's fantastic. And, man... Ooh, this movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe it's our fault, Dan.
For loving this series? No.
Yeah. No, we love this series too much. We hold it too high a standard.
That's the thing with this movie. I was going to kind of talk on it. I feel like this movie... God, we were talking about everything we hate about it. We haven't even touched on the movie, but I'll say the movie very much feels like it was made for people who like Full Metal Alchemist and understand Full Metal Alchemist. But if you like the series, you're going to understand this movie's a flaming garbage pile.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like they very much, because like, especially I'm rewatching the series right now because series was actually terrible. The movie was terrible, so I wanted to re-see it. They remade a lot of scenes, scene for scene, in the movie, like the Lust when he killed Lust and stuff. Like that was almost identical. The location wasn't the same, but the actual like scene to scene dialogue even was almost virtually identical. And it was so bad in live action.
Oh my god!
Like, does not work.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's start at the beginning. So first thing that I thought, I actually timed this because I'd heard rumors about it. So spoiler for Full Metal Alchemist first episode: their mom dies, and that kind of kickstarts their journey. And they do it in the movie. In the movie, she is on screen for 1 minute and 29 seconds, or no, 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
I mean, it's a real bold choice. I really got really attached to that mother character. She really pulled at my heartstrings. I really wanted them to bring her back, because she was just such a good...
Yeah.
She looked at those metal horses they made, and she was like, good job, kids, and then she just died immediately.
Yeah, it was just like, wow. Oh, hey, I'm a caring mother figure. Dies. Commits alchemy sin. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta bring her back. I just love, too, the child actors, like, right after... They could not. They looked like they were like smiling the whole movie.
Oh
like they were terrible. Yeah. The child actors in this movie, they were so bad. They literally wouldn't. They like forgot to use them, or like they just didn't want to use them for like the flashback.
Yeah,
scene.
For that flashback, they just kept him normal age.
Yeah, Edward's the same age as he is in the actual show, even though the scene that they're doing happened in the past. Like it's so fucking surreal.
Yeah. But no, because I just remember they were like, oh, it's their mom. It's this touching scene. And it's like that thing. It's like, hey, remember the show? Oh, and then there's the part where when they do the alchemy to bring back their mom, suddenly tornado happens?
Yeah, no, like some Allison, some
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, that's the one. Yep, you got it. All right, yeah, that one. Some of that started happening all over the house. Like, I'm not really sure what that was about.
Yeah, no, it was just weird. And then I don't know, I guess I can ramble. I can fill this whole podcast probably of just bitching about scene by scene nitpicks. I guess I'll just kind of say the other big things that bugged me, especially compared to the series. One, Edward sucked in this.
Oh yeah, he never does anything. He just kind of runs around and just kind of people tell him where to go, and he's just like, I'm gonna go over here now. I'm hero now. Okay.
Yeah, I am hero, man. So then, and it's just like that, and it's like in the show he's very smart.
Yeah, like that's both the Edward, like the Elrics are geniuses. Like they're really, really smart. Like they're alchemy geniuses, and like they figure shit out all the time. Like they make some crazy leaps of logic sometimes, but like they're really they're really smart characters. And this one, you don't really get it because like they just kind of rush from scene to scene so much.
Yeah, they never have time to actually figure anything out.
Yeah, he's more of he's a goofball sometimes, and that's about like all they seem to be able to get from him from the anime. And if I can raise a major complaint that I had with the movie, which I can kind of understand because of budgetary reasons, but at the same time, don't make this movie if you can't afford to put Al in the goddamn movie.
Yeah, or they could have just had Al in a cheap suit, and I would have been fine with it. But
yeah, like it's like Al was barely in this movie.
Yeah.
Like the only time he had like one scene where they were fighting in the warehouse, and that's literally it. That's basically all he does.
He like, falls over in that scene.
He just falls over. It's so
we're
good.
Down like a ton of bricks.
So doofy looking. It's just, man, that's literally it. Like he's either asleep or immobile for most of this movie, and then Winry kind of takes the place of like Al in most of the
I remember
scenes.
We actually said it while we were watching the end credits. Winry is the second person listed in the credits, not the person who voices Al. You know, the other main character of the fucking series.
Those two are the fulcrum for the whole series. Getting Al's body back is more important than anything else in the whole series.
But no, we gotta see Winry be cute, and she still was.
No, and her actor was cute.
Yeah.
It's true. She was right. You're right. She's
still
cute,
Winry.
But it's just
even though she wasn't fucking blonde.
Oh yeah, that's another. I mean, that might be a nitpick, but it's a really confusing nitpick because Ed was blonde. They had a shitty blonde wig for Ed, but Winry just couldn't be blonde. I'm not really sure what the disconnect is there.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. I mean, what else can we pick apart on this? Oh, I know you had
Armstrong.
One. Yeah, Armstrong wasn't in it. I was gonna say I know you had another scene that almost broke you, but I think it's when he takes his arm off and it's this fucking electric effects.
Oh yeah, the goddamn fucking like After Effects. Like seriously, we were doing shit like that in high school. Like that, it looked awful. Like the CG in this movie was terrible.
Yeah.
With the exception of Al sometimes. Like, Al looked okay at points.
I'd say Al and Nina, which I won't say for the Nina. 2 people who don't know that spoiler about Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, she looked okay, but I think that was almost an accident. Like,
yeah, she looks bad,
the only reason,
but good.
The only reason she looked good is because she's supposed to look bad. Like, that's the...
Yeah, and I'll just throw in another spoiler that made me upset, speaking of Nina. Spoiler, skip this. If you haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist, there's nobody who shouldn't have seen it by now. They don't do anything with Nina after, or Scar isn't in it, I should say.
No, yeah, she just kind of just goes away, and that's it. They don't even bring her up later.
Yeah.
Like Chow Tucker comes up, like he's in the movie more than he is in Brotherhood, but
yeah,
like they never bring up anything else, and it's mostly just so we can do the generic villain speech, like, you and me are the same person. You did that thing to your brother, and I did awful shit to a little girl, so, you know.
Yeah, no, you did this, I am also the same. Yeah, I feel like they left so many characters out. But
they left Chow Tucker in for way more time.
Well, I mean, in the original series, Chow Tucker did have, like, a role.
But they're obviously not going off the original series.
Well, that's the thing, they, like, split the difference.
Yeah, like, some of the time they definitely were on the original series, but, like, for the most part, the story seemed fairly Brotherhood.
Well, and then other times they just made shit up. Another spoiler, Envy.
Oh, yeah, Envy fucking dies in this, somehow.
Envy, who is, in the original series, arguably one of the main driving plot points.
Oh, yeah, like,
and in Brotherhood, I'd say, actually.
Yeah, in Brotherhood, the fucking Ishvalan War wouldn't have happened without Envy. Like, he is the driving force between, like, the whole, like, army stuff. Like, all the awful shit that the Armestrans did is because of Envy, mostly.
Yeah. Well, and even, like, within the series, Envy, like, keeps driving things forward just by being a jackass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Envy is one of the last homunculus to die, because, like, it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, Envy, literally, he pops up, and then...
yeah, it's like, hey...
Mustang's like, I can tell you're burned, so you're probably dying. And he just, oh shits, and pieces out, and then he just dies.
Yeah.
It's so fucking pathetic.
Yeah, and then going back to the homunculi, so Lust dies, which... I really hope we're not spoiling Full Metal Alchemist for anybody, but it's
I don't give a fuck. You know what?
Seriously.
Like, it's an old-ass show. It's old-ish now. Like, come on.
I mean, Brotherhood's almost a decade old at this point.
Yeah, almost. And the manga's been out for fucking, like, 18 years or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry if we're spoiling it for people, but please.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah, and then, if you watch that, then you won't be surprised by anything in the movie, except Envy dying.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. I mean, I guess Mustang did kill Envy in Brotherhood. Not like this.
No. In Brotherhood, Envy killed themselves.
I sort of, yeah. But Mustang was the one that kind of drove them
burned him down. But
yeah.
No, just other things that I hate this entire movie. No, Gluttony. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, Gluttony
is a gem, and they just...
He's beautiful. He's so bad. It's the worst.
Yeah, no, it's that CG that they do on Gluttony, and then when he opens up, and I think it was just the one scene we had to rewind and watch like 3 times.
Yeah, where he just waddles towards a bunch of soldiers, and then it's like, oh shit, and they just run away. It's so
they're just like,
bad.
And he's just like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, the choreography is awful. Like, everything is so bad.
Oh my gosh.
I don't get it. I just don't, like, I wasn't expecting a good movie, Dan. I wasn't.
Yeah, but I was expecting it to be bad and enjoyable. I was expecting them to maybe go up through, like, Chow Tucker.
Yeah, like, they could have, like, paced it. There's a lot of things they could have gone to. But in the end of the movie, spoilers for the end of this awful shit show, they jump, like, an entire, like, 4 arcs ahead, randomly, for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where they find, like, the second lab, and, like, and all the little blob people. I don't really know the clones.
Yeah, the homunculus zombies.
Yeah. They just skip ahead to that at the very end, out of nowhere. Also, the Führer is not in it. He's mentioned once. That's it.
Yeah, one of the other main driving points of the plot. Instead, we get generic bad guy Mick shows up in one episode. I don't know.
Yeah, shows up in one episode, gets eaten by the zombies. Just like he's introduced in the very beginning. And he's like, "I'm so nice. It'd be a real dick move if I were bad." Then he just like shows up at the very end of the movie and he's like, "I'm bad though," and then he just dies immediately. That's it. That's the whole thing he's done. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's it. He didn't have any point in being in that movie.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Jesus. Don't watch this. Don't watch this movie.
I guess that's our final.
It's not even a good bad movie. It's just bad.
Yeah, even like if you like bad movies, because I love bad movies. Like I go out of my way to watch shitty cinema. Fuck this movie.
It's boring. Like it's a boring movie. Yeah. There's like one action scene in the beginning and one at the very end, and like one like play wrestle fight that Al and Ed do like halfway through, and that's it. That's all the action in it. So otherwise, it's just characters just exposing at each other. Like they're just tons of exposition. Every line of dialogue in this movie is exposition.
Yeah, which I don't get because they expose a lot of things. Like they explain things for people. It's like, oh, if you don't know Full Metal Alchemist, this is what's going on. But then they just are also
but
like...
the plot makes no sense. Yeah. So, like, if you don't know the plot of the actual anime, you're going to be lost, because none of it makes any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think my favorite scene of the whole movie, and by favorite, I mean I wanted to actually vomit, was, like, right after they caught the priest guy with the fake Philosopher's Stone.
Cornello, yeah.
Al turns around to the audience, which he's obviously the audience is the TV audience, like not the people in the background, and he just starts explaining how alchemy works.
Yeah,
for no reason. Like this is like nope. It's like oh, that's some cool magic, and he's like, it's not magic, actually. Equivalent exchange. And he goes on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's just like everybody watching this movie already knows about equivalent exchange.
Yeah, and like if you didn't, then oh boy, you're gonna have a great time trying to follow this clusterfuck because it's not gonna make any sense.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I guess that's our thing. We've gone on for this movie for about 15 minutes now. This is a third of our podcast.
Yep.
You're welcome, dumpster goblins.
Third. Yep. And we're gonna put this right in the dumpster where you guys belong.
Yeah, and even when it's in there, don't watch this.
Don't watch it. Don't eat it. There's better things.
Watch the live action Death Note because that is bad, but I laughed my ass off. That is a beautiful movie.
Can we just touch that one just for a little bit, like for a minute? I just want to. We talk about how great that movie was and how bad, like in like all the worst ways.
Yeah, no, just like looking back, that movie made me laugh. This entire Ferris wheel scene where like they're falling in slow motion was
beautiful. That was the music choice in that scene was especially good.
Yeah, no, I think I even remember you were with me when we watched it. I think I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Yeah, no, I couldn't breathe. It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
it was so bad. Like it was such a bad movie, but like the pacing and the music was terrible, and Light Turner had like no motivation besides getting that ass. Like that's all he wanted.
Yeah, and the girl went from being in the. I think the big thing I can say with that movie is it's a terrible movie, but disregard the anime or the manga.
Yeah, like it has very little to do with the anime. If the plot is basically different, like everything is different.
Yeah, it's just kind of the same general premise.
Yeah, like the powers are the same. It's an enjoyable movie. Like it's if you like bad movies, you'll like that. Basically,
yeah. I kind of looked at it as like a dark comedy more than like an actual suspense thriller, like the guy was trying to make.
All right, so I have a question.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
What do you think? What series do you think could ever have a good anime? What anime series could ever have a good adaptation? Is it possible? Can it be done?
To have a good live action adaptation?
Yeah.
So I actually have heard that the Erased live action drama is actually solid.
Is it? Okay.
I've heard.
So I know the Rurouni Kenshin anime live action. I've seen the first one. There's like a trilogy. That one's okay. That one's actually all right.
Yeah. No, I mean that's kind of my thing. Is it couldn't be anything that I like watching because again, shonen garbage. I like watching magical fights, and it's just going to be cheesy CGI. I think.
Yeah, anything like super bombastic, like that's crazy over the top choreography. Like Hiro Aka would be an awful,
terrible,
awful live action. Just wait, they're gonna do it. I almost guarantee it's so popular. They're gonna make a live action Hiroaka, and it's gonna be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be bad. I think dramas actually might lend themselves pretty well. Like I could see.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, I could see some of the dramas that would go well. Again, like Erased. I've been watching. If we want to talk about other stuff I'm watching, I just finally, after like 3 years, finished the first season of. I'm gonna say the name wrong. Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju.
Oh yeah, okay. How was that?
It was sad. It was a good. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I'm not super big into dramas, so it doesn't hold my interest super well. But I would watch it while I was working out. So I just didn't have anything else to do, and it was very enjoyable. It's a nice character piece. It's also a nice timepiece. So if you're into like that era of Japan, but
yeah, can you give like a short summary for anybody who?
Okay, so basically what the show is it tells the story of Rakugo. Storytellers, which is this Japanese form of comedy. It's an older Japanese form of comedy, but it's basically one person sitting down or kneeling down in front of an audience, and they have to tell a story as all these different characters using like hand props for fans. And the show does a lot of Rakugo stories, and they're fun to watch and listen to.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's just like it's old school kind of humor, kind of fun stories. But the show basically talks about the drama going in to how this art form started dying out in post World War II Japan, and it's kind of like these two. Okay, so the first episode is a really long episode; it's like 45 minutes, and it sets up that there's this old master known as I'm going to get his name wrong. It's Yakumo. Yeah, Yakumo is the master, and he has a new student, Yotaro, who wants to inherit his name, but the guy does something bad during this performance. I won't spoil it all. And then basically he tells the story of how he got his name of Yakumo, and it's
and is that what the anime is about?
The first season,
how he got it that name?
Yeah, the first season at least kind of talks about how he went up through the ranks of learning Rakugo, and how his not partner, but a person who joined the school at the same time, Sukeroku. God, I am such a bad weeb. I can't speak Japanese for shit.
That's okay. I'm pretty bad at it too.
I took 4 years, man.
Yeah, I took 2.
Oh no, I took 3. But it's basically the story of like how these two have these differing art styles of how to do Rakugo, and it's really interesting. And the ending is really, really, really sad.
Okay.
Yeah. I would recommend it for people who like dramas or, like I said, timepieces. Right. I just liked it because it was interesting and a nice change of pace.
Okay, I might have to check it out. I've been kind of in a drama-y mood recently.
Yeah, I know it. The second season is apparently just as good. I think I'm gonna hold off on that because, like, Desert Punk is a thing, and also Archer.
Right, which is and Archer.
Yeah, I just found.
Are you watching the newest season of Archer?
Is the newest season out?
I don't know. I'm actually a season behind.
Yeah, I'm a season behind. That's I just like right before we started recording this, I was watching season 8 of Archer, which is the one where he's in a coma in his dream. And yeah, I'm just catching up on that, and it's fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy Archer.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can we switch? Okay, can we switch gears for a minute? Though?
Yeah, sure.
We got to talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, this podcast wasn't weeby enough yet. I don't know. I've been talking a lot.
We started out with Full Metal Alchemist. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's live action. It's not as weeby, but do you want to talk the Anime Awards? I've been talking a lot this episode.
Oh, sure. Okay. So, what was it, last week?
Yeah.
Was when they finalized it, the live-action show for the Anime Awards, which I didn't watch. I saw a highlight reel, and I saw all the winners, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I just want to know what you thought of the winners of all the categories, because I thought it was pretty good. I thought there was some where I definitely don't think My Hero Academia should have won that many awards.
Yeah.
I'll have to say.
Yeah, no, I totally can agree with that. One thing I will say, I thought it was kind of cool that Crunchyroll did a live action award show. I know it was kind of clunky.
Yeah, but it's the first time they've done it, so I can't give them too much flack for it.
Also, the presenters were YouTubers, and that.
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers came up on stage.
Yeah, freaking! Did you watch Gigak's video making fun of the anime?
Yes, I did watch Gigak's video.
They say to this day, Pro ZD is still clapping. I love that. It's just
that was pretty great. Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. Also, I got to see Eye Patch Wolf for the first time, and he looks a lot like Tom Cruise. I did not know.
Yeah, right? I haven't watched a ton of Eye Patch Wolf.
He's a handsome man. But yeah, you should watch some Eye Patch. He's really, really good. I actually really like his channel. It's a lot of introspection, sort of like why you should watch series sort of thing. You should watch his Hunter x Hunter video, and then maybe you'll like Hunter x Hunter.
I'll get around to it. Yeah, no, but I like that. And then they also had, I can't remember his name. He's the football player who cosplays a lot.
Oh, yeah, shoot. Yeah, isn't he in the Packers?
I think Seahawks? I don't know. Football.
Seahawks? Okay.
We'll look it up later.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember who he was. Yeah. But yeah, he was there, and he was pretty hype. He was having a good time.
And Chris Sabat coming up to accept an award, I think is just so hype.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the awards themselves. I'd have to re-look at everything. I know... What am I thinking? Best animation is the first one that comes to mind. My Hero Academia should not have beaten anime movies.
It should not have won. Like, I disagree wholeheartedly with that decision, just because, like, Hero Academia had good animation. It did. Like, it was, like, there were some really good and well-shot choreography and scenes in that. I just don't think I think the competition was just too...
Yeah.
Like,
a Silent Voice was on there. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a freaking movie in that.
A Kyoto Animation movie.
Yeah, how do you beat that? That doesn't even... I don't think that's possible. Land of the Lustrous is on that list, and that movie actually made me, like, want to die. Like, the animation was so good.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt with... I mean, that's like I said, that one I don't think... It looked good, but...
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think anybody can call My Hero Academia a bad-looking show. It isn't. It is a really well-shot, well-choreographed show. Obviously, a lot of money behind it, but, like, it's just not as good. Like, it has the same problem most shonens have, where, like... It's just, like, the action's well shot, but, like, most of the time it's very static.
Yeah, it's below the load on the fight scene.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the fight scenes were very cool, but, like, when you think of best animation, you think of, like, something that'll blow you away from start to finish, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I think...
Especially considering how good the competition was.
Yeah, and I think that was a case of... I know they did it a lot more so this year, where the popular vote did kind of matter, but it wasn't as heavily weighed compared to the Yuri on Ice Awards.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but...
Feature. Yeah, what do you think of the winner of the awards, like the Best Anime of the Year awards?
For this last year? I'm trying to think of the other categories.
Okay, because, like, yeah, this year Made in Abyss got anime of the Year.
I think deserved.
I personally agree with.
I think it deserved it by a mile.
Yeah, I think it definitely deserved it. It really caught me. Like, I caught up with the anime and I read the manga in one night. And I think it's definitely worth it. Like, it's such an interesting world, and such a dark world. I think it caught a lot of people by surprise.
We still need to get together, and I need to...
Yeah. Just set a time.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I got the... Tomorrow? I don't fucking know.
Alright, that's it. Audience, hold Trey to this. Right. Tomorrow? Not tomorrow for when this podcast comes out, but tomorrow?
Tomorrow in the past.
Yeah, tomorrow. Just, make sure that I'm doing that.
Yeah, alright, sure. Do it.
Yeah. But no, I definitely agree with that one. I'm trying to think. So, okay. I was a little torn, because best comedy, I think, is bullshit.
Yes, I didn't see Dragon Maid, so you'd have to give me the...
it did not deserve to win best comedy over Konosuba.
Yeah, I think you and Garrett were saying last week, too, that, like, it's a funny anime, but it's not just a comedy, it's just it's a good anime.
Yeah, it's moe blobbish. I think that's another case of popularity, which I don't get, because Konosuba was crazy popular.
Huge! Like, that blew up so big. I don't get it. I'm really confused, because Konosuba, I thought was a shoo-in to win. Like, I thought it got robbed, personally. Like,
yeah. No, that's what I thought, it's like, because Konosuba was on for 2 years. Also, Kazuma could have been Best Boy, and...
Yeah, I thought Kazuma was Best Boy for me.
Yeah, but Todoroki was also adorable. I mean, not adorable, but him going through his arc this whole last season of My Hero.
Yeah, I mean, he was good. I can accept that him winning Best Boy. It's just not who I would have picked personally. Yeah. But I think it's just so good. I don't know why it didn't get Best Comedy. I just don't understand.
Yeah. The only other one that I'll have a point of contention on, and I think some other, like, the YouTuber universe of anime people has kind of agreed with me. So I think Best Drama, which Ancient Magus Bride won, and I do love Ancient Magus Bride. I wish it had its own... I wish there was a fantasy genre, or a fantasy award.
Yeah, because it's hard to call that a drama, per se, right? Like, it's got some over dramatic moments, but like it's not really a drama. It's like it's a fantasy.
Yeah, it's hard fantasy. I'd say.
Yeah, hard fantasy. Yeah, it's not action. It's not really drama. Yeah, I think it's just a fantasy genre would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been good because I think best drama should have gone to something. I haven't watched it, but I've only heard good things about March Comes In Like a Lion, which I probably should have won.
I've heard good things about that too.
Yeah, which probably should have won, or Rakugo Season 2, which if it's anything like Season 1, and I hear Season 2 is even a little more like dramatic, kind of suspensey than Season 1, probably should have won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's any awards show. There's going to be points of contention.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, if you go to literally any award show, you're going to have an issue. Like, you go to the Game Awards or something, of course, if the game that you wanted isn't on there, you're going to have an issue with. Yeah. But I especially if there's popular vote involved, just because, like, what's popular might not be what should be critically considered the best.
I will say this year, maybe it's just because I like My Hero Academia a lot more than, I never even bothered to watch Yuri on Ice, but I think Hero Aka deserves the awards a lot more than Yuri on Ice did.
Oh, I think I agree too. As someone who only watched like a couple episodes of Yuri on Ice, I thought that started pretty strong and then it kind of petered out. I feel like a lot of the hype behind that show was because of how progressive it was.
Yeah.
Which, admittedly, it was very progressive, and I think it was I think the anime community needed an anime like that.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that you should weigh your, critical opinions on a show because of that. Like, that shouldn't... Like, that can weigh into, like, some category. If it was your best anime of the year because of that, I understand. But I don't think it could also win every other award because of that. Like, it's just... That's crazy to me. It seems nuts.
Yeah, for sure. And also, last year, let's be real... I'm never going to forgive them for messing up Best Villain last year.
Oh, who won Best Villain?
It's more so who didn't win, because Yoshikage Kira...
Oh, it's right, Kira! Yeah, that's right, Yoshikage
Kira win. He lost to the guy from Erased.
Yeah, like, who the fuck even was that
guy?
like, he's like some jabroni, whereas you have the perfect Yoshikage Kira who did nothing wrong. Yeah, he was awful. Like, he was a really good villain, and they just completely, like...
that was another case of popular vote. Because people are like, Erased, this was so good! Which, I mean, it was, but come on, man. Yeah. It's Kira Queen. Bites the dust off!
Yeah, he bites the dust. He'll kill you with a laser beam. It makes sense. It's so good.
JoJo Part 5. Come on already.
Yeah, JoJo Part 5. Come on. It'll be new territory for me, because I didn't read the manga like you did.
I've read a little bit of it. Part 5, I wasn't as interested in. Part 6, I can take or leave. Part 7 is probably my favorite JoJo part.
Ooh, okay.
I think I've told you about
it. Part 5 is like the Dio's son.
Yeah, it's Dio's bastard child tries to become the leader of the mafia.
Okay.
And, things happen. Paul Naref shows back up.
Oh, does he? Oh, boy.
And I don't want to spoil anything. I might tell you later, but I won't say on podcast. Who else is it? I don't know. Like I said, part 7's my favorite part. That's the horse race across the United States to assemble the corpse of Jesus Christ.
Right. Oh, yeah, you told me about that. And that sounds just nutty enough to be fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, but moving on away from anime for a bit.
Yeah, sure.
You saw Black Panther.
I did. Did you go see it yet?
I have not.
Oh, man.
I'll have seen it by next week, but you can talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to hear your opinions before I go and take the lead. I want to hear like what was good, what was bad, what you would have changed. That sort of thing.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to talk with you, Black Panther, especially considering your black. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, for those who are unaware, I am very much a white male. And I know Black Panther, it's super cool. I think it's super cool to see an all-black cast, or an almost entirely black cast.
Mostly black, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are saying, like, I got overhyped because of that. I think it is still one of the best superhero movies to come out recently.
Yeah, where would you rate it in, like, the Marvel-verse sort of...
Well, I mean, my ratings are weird because Ant-Man is in my top 5, which is apparently not a good. I would put it close to the top 5, but I need to rewatch the entire Marvel series. It's probably in the top 5. Because I like all the characters. I like the story beats. The villain is probably one of my favorite villains ever made.
I hear the villain is really good. Like, especially considering how bad the villains in Marvel movies tend to be.
Yeah, no, this villain is so good. He does the thing where he's not, like, comic book evil like the rest of them. Or like think Ultron from Age of Ultron. He's like, oh, I'm evil and I'm going to purge the world because it's like this. And it's very like ham-fisted. And this guy, Killmonger, is the villain's name. First of all, that's a stupid villain name. I'm sorry.
That is an awful name. That is, I'm glad you said it because man, I am not in love with that name. It's like fucking from Jessica Jones, like
Kilgrave.
I don't remember his name. Yeah, Kilgrave. Yeah. Like why? What? Why the name?
No, and I'm just like, it's like, oh, his name is Killmonger. You guys not raising any red flags, guys?
is that a not giving anybody any suspicion?
Yeah.
But I hear he's actually like his motivations make sense. Like he's not.
Yeah, he's like a really good case of they made a villain that people can agree with, but it's just taken a little too far. I won't spoil anything. But no, he's really good. The action is set up super well. The fight scenes are super fun to watch. The characters.
Yeah.
They found a good balance of like making the characters funny again. It's not as like Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a comedy really, right? It's like
not anymore.
It's an action at its core with like some comedy elements, right?
Yeah. It's just as the Marvel comedy is what I mean. I'm trying to think of what else. I like most of the characters. His younger sister character is funny. I don't want to give it away, but she uses an old meme in the movie, and it's very much like I cringed a bit when I heard it and rolled my eyes, but then I'm like, I still say that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say it. She does, what are those? Yeah. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me with that? And it's still funny.
But hey, they got you.
Yeah, Martin Freeman does really well in it too. I just like him a lot. And like I said, I like a lot of it. The things that bugged me about it are the things that I feel like they just had to hit some of the same story beats, which I don't know why, because spoilers for, for Captain America Civil War, but when Black Panther shows up in that, his father dies. So I kind of was like in this, I was like, oh, we can, skip the dramatic death of his father and mentor. But they still kind of do that. I'm not going to spoil like how.
Oh, okay.
But
they bring it up, even though they've already kind of had that moment.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's still like a mentor character who I don't want to like spoil it too much for you, but I mean, it's it's going to happen. The guy has a death flag written on him as soon as the movie starts.
Okay, like as soon as he shows up, like they're like, oh, well, he's gonna.
It's
die.
Like, oh, look, I'm your old wise mentor, and it's like, geez, I wonder if you're going to get Ben Kenobi'd.
Yeah, that's what I hope. That's why I hope that like Infinity War like breaks some of that. Like I hope that they like just don't be super tropey for that. They might just make it super tropey just to like be safe, but
yeah.
It'd be cool considering it's part 1 especially. Like they have a point. They can make part 1, part 2 kind of tropey to kind of bring it back together, but like the first one I feel like should be like a crazy like out of nowhere like shit just keeps happening sort of movie personally.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Well, that's my hope anyway, cuz like it just I feel like Marvel movies do have a problem, especially now, with kind of playing it safe a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
and I think this one played it a little safe. It did some cool things. I'm trying to think. There was one other thing I remember that really bugged me, but the whole the ham-fisting killing the mentor really, really bugged me. I was just like, come on, that's just lazy.
Like, we've seen this a million times.
Yeah. And then I don't know. Overall, I really liked it. I'd say. On my superhero movie scale, I'd say 9 out of 10. On like a normal movie scale, like 7. But,
all right, so really good for a superhero movie.
But like, I mean, superhero movies. I love superhero movies, but I judge them with a grain of salt.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I know what I'm getting most of the time when I go to a superhero movie, so like I don't.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh.
Doesn't bother me if they like get kind of predictable.
Yeah, that was the other thing with this one. The soundtrack in this movie. So Marvel movies, I can't remember who did the video, but there's a guy out there who did a video on why superhero movies have terrible soundtracks, or you just don't ever remember the soundtrack.
Right, I think I actually saw that video.
Yeah, I think you showed it to me, maybe.
Where he compares a bunch of movies together and like how they're like all kind of have the same beats and stuff.
Yeah, and the soundtrack for this. Yeah, no, it's kind of like that, but basically superhero movies have notoriously poor soundtracks, and the soundtrack for this one. I was so excited for because like Childish Gambino's on it, Kendrick Lamar is on it, and I love Kendrick, but it just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Like, I feel like that was the part that was overhyped for me. Or people were like, "Oh, the soundtrack's
okay." Like they had like a really good opportunity to make a really good soundtrack, and they just didn't. Really.
Yeah, and I'll say miles better than any, especially if you're a fan of hip hop. Miles better than any other superhero movie soundtrack. Yeah, you had Kendrick Lamar, man.
Right.
Come on. But no, overall, I imagine there won't be a reason why you won't like it.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, you did bring up the elephant in the room. I'm black, so like I have a little, and not to say I wouldn't grade it. If it was a bad movie, I wouldn't I would still not like it. But I am very excited for the prospect of a mostly black cast for a movie because it just doesn't happen. It's cool. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And like, especially considering it's so Afrocentric, because like, for those who don't know, my mom was born in Africa. She's not an African American in like the traditional sense. So she's an immigrant. So like, I've been to Africa. My house has always been very Afrocentric growing up, and I think it's really cool that you go to Wakanda and like I'm hoping that it's like
it is
very much into African culture. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah, that is one thing I liked is they do, because Wakanda is so far advanced, they keep like the kind of tribal African culture things, and it doesn't feel like hacky or like racist when they bring up those kind of things. Like sometimes the movies are like, oh, look at these tribes people.
Right.
It feels like genuine, but then
yeah, I'm glad they didn't go like the Africa mud hut sort of thing.
No.
I'm super glad that's not a thing, because that's just be really, really not great.
Yeah, there's one character, he's a super minor character, but he sticks out to me because he has like you know how some tribes have like the wooden discs that they put in their lips? So he has one of those, but he also wears a suit because, you know, it's an advanced nation of Wakanda. So it's like keeping the tribal roots, but I don't know why that character stuck out as so cool to me. It's just like the, you know, holding on to tribal roots while advancing into the modern age.
Like modernizing. Yeah.
Again,
which is very cool.
Yeah. Again, I think the movie's super good. And again, I'm very, very much white, but I think it's just so cool to see that kind of stuff in cinema.
And I'm glad that Marvel did it. Like, I'm glad they made this movie, because, like, you know, this is cool. I'm glad they did. I'm glad that they, like, I know that executives don't like to take chances, but, you know, I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, but no, I'd say most people should go see it. So anything else? I don't know. I kind of rambled all on. You got a couple minutes left. You got anything that's been burning a hole in yours?
Okay, I've been playing a few video games this week.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing big. Like next week and the week after, I think are definitely going to be more video game centric episodes for me, just because there's a lot of stuff coming out that I'm excited to play. But this week I did play. I played a game called Icy, which is it's a Chinese hack and slash side scroller. Came out 2 years ago, I think. It's not super new, but they did that last year, or late last year. They added English dub because it was dubbed Chinese, and that's why I kind of had a hard time playing it because it's hard to read subtitles when you're hacking and slashing. So I had a hard time, especially for someone like me who's dyslexic. I had a really hard time trying to read while also juggling combos and stuff. So I just waited until the English dub came out. I haven't finished it. I'm about halfway through, I think. That game's really cool. I actually really enjoyed it because it's very meta. It's a very meta game. It seems to be delving into game development more than anything. The narrator is obviously the person who made the game.
Oh, cool.
And he likes to bring up the fact that he made the game a lot, which I think is really cool. If you can deliberately ignore everything he says, if he tells you to go somewhere, you can deliberately not do it, and he just starts starts yelling at you and shit. He'll tell you how ungrateful you are and how much work you put in everything. At one point, pretty early on, I went to this warehouse, went to the wrong area, and I go in there and it's a bunch of pencil drawings and the background hadn't been finished, and he's like, okay, look, the game was really hard to make. I spent 10 years making this game, alright?
Oh, that's great. That's fucking great.
And so then he takes me to a test area where he shows me what all the previous incarnations of the game. So he's just showing me oh yeah, you used to have a gun, a super cool gun, it was amazing, and then I thought, nobody's gonna want a super cool gun, and he just takes it away from you, and it's this is really cool. I actually really enjoy that part. it's cool because I think it's mostly a one-man project. Like, you can kind of tell it's not super polished, and like I know what animation program they use for it. Like, so it's like a bunch of static images, but it's like it's animated pretty well. Like, it's especially the combat is super fluid and the combos feel good to use. But like, it's very amateurish in some ways.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very cool game just because like you don't see a whole lot of meta narratives like that, like about the actual game development that often. Like, and I enjoy a good meta, like breaking game, like Undertale or something, where it's just like I enjoy that sort of like fourth wall breaking, where it's not just like a cheeky haha we're talking to the audience. That's pretty funny. It's actually incorporated into the plot. And I think that more games should do that, especially like indie games, so they can kind of get away with that.
Yeah. No, I really like meta humor a bit, so I mean, I like that.
Yeah, and
especially like game designer cool. Meta humor, just like, oh well, I didn't make this part. As a guy who is a fan of things low effort.
Yeah, I mean, the name of our podcast comes to mind. It's a cool, funny experience, and there's actually a fair amount of depth to the combat too. So it's not like it's a good game on top of being like a fun game to play. It's, I guess, the best comparison I can make. It's kind of like it's like Stanley Parable meets Devil May Cry.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and yeah. Besides that, I played a game called God Eater Full Burst. I'm not super far into it. It's Monster Hunter. It's just Monster Hunter, but it's like IG Monster Hunter.
Yeah, God Eater. I've seen like 2 episodes of the anime. It was terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Don't watch it. The story in God Eater, I'm pretty sure, is garbage. Like, I'm like 2 hours into the game. I'm pretty sure the story is actually just terrible. Like, it's not I don't think that's what you're supposed to come to the series for. It's mostly. I think the funniest part is I'm just running around with a scythe right now and just killing things. And I think that's kind of fun, but I don't know if it'll hold my interest. It's interesting. I need something to tide me over until Monster Hunter comes to PC. I don't think you understand.
Yeah, that's fair. I just finally caved after filling out my taxes. I got Vermintide because all of our friends are playing it, so...
Yeah, I also picked that up too, so we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been playing some games, but next week maybe we can just make a game-heavy one since we've been
we can make a game. We've been doing a lot of movies and anime recently, though I know we're seeing a movie tonight. I think I'm seeing a movie tonight. I don't know if you're
I think so, but our friends might have just canceled. After the podcast, we can talk about that. Okay. Or maybe I'll just cut this part out. I'm not going to cut it out. Right. I'm calling you out, friends.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but besides that, anything else you want to talk about, or you want to wrap it up?
Not really. I think I got everything off my chest. I just really wanted to bitch about Full Metal Alchemist, Trey.
Me too.
I can talk more. You want to make this a double length feature? We can make this episode as long as the fucking movie.
Yeah, 2 hours of us just bitching about. We should just do like a riff tracks on it, where we just like talk over the movie.
I'm so game. I'm 100% down for that. Can we do that? Can we please do that?
I'm up for it.
Dumpster Goblins. If you want Trey and I to record a riff tracks of the Full Metal Alchemist movie on Netflix, smash that like button.
Email Steve.
Yeah, or directly message Trey or I. I'm just saying, my birthday is coming up soon, and I would love to do that for my birthday present to all of you.
a birthday Full Metal riff tracks. Oh, I'm so in. I'm so
game.
100%.
But yeah, no, I like that. Let's plan for that. Dumpster Goblins, I'm doing that. That's my present.
Excellent. Besides that, though, we can probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
So I'm Trey.
And I'm Dan. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.